Oh, hey, look, I'm 5 minutes early from my usual lateness. Um, all right, let me grab one thing before we even start. All right, we good, money. All right, I feel better. All right, Whew. I feel a lot better. I have tea. What time is it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. And I'll take the other. All right, yeah. I'm medication contemplation. I'm doing the math in my head about how much medicine I took and when my next dose is due. So I hope all. Ooh, let's cut this. Let's move this. Let's do this. Perfect. And let's hit that thing. Is there any water in here? Oh, there is water in here, and it's still ice cubes. Uh-huh. All right, but for the meantime, excuse me. I'm I'm working on I'm losing my mind, really, quite frankly. What am I looking for over here? Yeah, it's too late. All right. I was gonna throw in a little. Anyway, yeah. All right. Let's get together. So, what's in the news today? I don't know much of what, if anything, is in the news today. I said 7 o'clock. I'm really late. This is 7:30. Maybe we should move this thing to 7:30. I don't even know, man. Uh, I have no idea what's going on here. All right. We talk about politics and the politics of late are. I can't even show you stuff because I don't know. All right, let's do this. I'm slightly all over the place. Why is this the bottom of this sticky and disgusting? Give me a second. Oh my gosh, this is the third time I left the room and the show's only been on for 3 minutes. All right. Here we are. I had to go get a clean one. I don't know where I put these tea lights. I know there's a whole bunch of them in the other room, but I had some in here that I was using for this, and they're not there anymore. Oh boy. All right. Uh, I might crack this just a little bit. Good Lord. There you go. Uh, it is a thing. What is this? Is here? All right. Let's try not to. So in this thermos, coffee mug, whatever, thermalized insulated mug, I have the elixir. Oh, see, that's why it's sticking on the side of the gods. Let's put this here. Let's write this down. And it is essentially herbal tea. Hey, Milton, what's up, man? It's essentially herbal tea and 2 ounces of whiskey. A 16-ounce glass, so it's 14 ounces of herbal tea and 2 ounces of whiskey. And I think that has been doing it for me. I think whatever medication I'm on, it helps the medication. Don't drink and do medication, and don't drink and drive, and don't drink and have sex, and don't drink and go to space. All right, remember that. Drinking is bad. Leave all the whiskey to me. I will. If you find any, call me, and I will take care of it for you. I know a whole bunch of hazmat guys, and they'll come by, and they'll take it away in like pints. Whew, this is hot. So I think they fired Chris Cuomo or vodka, right? I know whatever. Don't do any drinking. If you come across anything, let me know. I know someone who'll take it off your hands. That's what's most important about what I'm trying to say to you. I will say this: it staves off the raw sore throat if you just keep, and you have to keep drinking water too, because first, all the drugs you're taking will suck all the water out of you, so you have to replenish that, and on top of that, you should be taking vitamins. You know how this goes. Uh, Quick story. I remember when I first moved out of my parents' house, and the first time I got sick, I called my mother. God, I must have been 20, right? You don't really know what the hell you're doing, talking about. And I remember all the stuff she used to do to me when I was sick, right? Make me sandwiches and rub Vicks vapor rub on your chest and smear it under your nose and all in your nose, and then let you watch cartoons all day, mom stuff. Meeting my wife in Dallas in 12 days. Nice. In 12 days, baby. Nice. So, do you mind if I ask why she's in Dallas? Well, it's just like an old western where you were run out of Dallas, and now you're going back in the cover of night to rescue your woman and wreak revenge on the guy who stole your grandfather's ranch. Yeah, I know westerns and karate movies. Mm. I mean, I think I'm getting better. I'm doing less sneezing and less coughing. Right on time. Right on time. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Um, yeah, family is important all around. You know, blessings to your wife, her moms, and blessings to you, man. So I'm supposed to be on Twitch today. I still haven't really figured out how to get. Well, I'm on Twitch now, but I was gonna just stream straight to Twitch, uh, which I'm gonna be doing a lot more of because I bought these games and I'm gonna play them and I'm gonna play them on Twitch. And one is I even have trouble pronouncing the name of this. Hold it. Oop. Pronouncing the name of the game. It's Il Sturmer. Let me look at my freaking Steam account library. Il Sturmovic. I wish I could even show you. I can't even show you a commercial for it, so you can go, "Oh my God, that's great! I want to run out and buy it." Because YouTube will say that you're using someone else's intellectual property, which doesn't make any sense. Some of this shit doesn't make any sense. You know what should be included in the right to use someone's work for criticism, right, or parody or whatever, is to run their commercials. They made their commercials for you to see, right? All of it is free publicity if I show it. Why is this bad for them? Why would they not want me to show this, right? This isn't me showing, like, the famous person falling down the stairs and everybody laughing at them, right? This is, yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand it. I think there's probably more money in suing people over it than actually just letting it ride, and that's what's up. Uh, So yeah, when I kick this off, we're gonna play a lot of Battlefield 2. We're gonna play a lot of Arma. We're gonna probably re-kick off Guitar. What's up, William? With Rocksmith, which I have before they put it behind the paywall. Uh, we're gonna do some racing. I bought a racing game, a set of Corso. Yeah, so it's gonna be we're gonna blow the doors off of this thing. And once I can game in Insurgency, which is another great game. Once I can game, then I'll likely have longer shows, right? I'll talk politics for like an hour and a half, and then I'll game for like 2 3 hours, And if you want to hang with that, hang with that. Because that's what I would normally do with my day anyway, until I felt guilty because all my friends were, you know, being responsible, having wives and children and shit, and I'm playing video games. Um, I think they made the right choice, quite frankly. Uh, whew. I am so wonky sleepy. Alec Baldwin said he never pulled the trigger. That can't be true. She was shot with a gun that he was holding. And remember, William, you were here. You when this whole thing first kicked off. I heard you. I think you told me about it, right? And I was like, "What? Wait a minute." And then I looked it up, and I was like, "That doesn't make any sense." The narrative of that, the narratives of this story just keeps getting more and more ridiculous. Um, because I was like, "How many times did he shoot her?" Remember that? If it's shot her twice, and it's a revolver, you know, uh, no, but he shot her once, and then I was like, "How you shot her? Where you shot her?" And she must have been bent over because it shot her in the stomach and it traveled upward, hit the producer guy in the shot her in the stomach. Uh, it because he was sitting down. Yeah, the whole thing made sense, but he had to pull the trigger. Here's the thing: I said this when this happened. I think he's over. I think he was a darling of Saturday Night Live, and right, and Saturday Night Live. Uh, Sort of uh, brought him back. He was an anti-Trumper guy, right? He was an anti um, Bloomberg guy, right? He was a liberal, famous media darling. And now I'm pretty sure nobody's going to touch that guy with a 10-foot pole. Because look, I don't think he's going to go to jail for this. I just think, do you hear that? For a minute there, I thought that was a grass lawnmower. And it might be, but it's driving away. I thought they were about the lawn. I was like, it's dark here. Here, the grounds keeping crew. I'm gonna have to slide up, aren't I? The grounds keeping crew who keep the grounds here. They'll start at 7 in the morning. You'll be like, man, it is Sunday. What are y'all fucking doing? But I keep my mouth shut. And then they'll run all day, and sometimes they'll start late at like noon. You got that, god dang it, and then they'll be here till like 7 at night, 8 at night. Just when it begins to get dark, there's sometime you're like, my whole day was spent listening to this. I used to like to sit with my windows open, and then one day I came back, there was a layer of schmutz all over everything, and my nephew was like, "Yeah, man, that's why everybody keep their windows closed because not just pollen, but like when they cut grass, yeah, that's a thing." So I keep it open when I'm in here doing pods, but normally I can't have the windows closed because all this electronic equipment is in here, and I don't need dust in the crevices. Yeah, he had to do an interview with somebody. I think people in Hollywood are turning on the guy. So it's a game. At this point, it's a game of PR. You want to try this in the court of public opinion first, because when they pull jurors for this trial, they will come from the public, and maybe they will have seen that heartfelt, you know, expose or interview or whatever you're going to call it. And by the way, I've said this on my podcast 1,000 times. Whenever an actor ends up in court, hello Edwin, good to see you. Whenever an actor ends up in court crying on the stand, take that with a grain of salt, right? They're trained to manipulate you, right? Um, and now their very lives depend on it. But again, I don't think it's going to be Alec Baldwin who gets the handcuffs. I think it's going to be this 26-year-old. You cannot tell me Alec Baldwin woke up that morning to shoot that woman. You can't tell me that, right? And then while you're telling me this, you're also telling me one woman was in charge of the gun, another person handed him the gun, and then you're gonna arrest him for him not checking it. It's not his job as a head movie star guy to check the gun. That's why you have a chain of what do you say in police work, a chain of custody. Uh, yeah, I don't see how this is in any way, shape, or form on Alec Baldwin. But I think that young lady has issues. And this is when you want the unfair justice system to be unfair for you. I'm a lovely 26-year-old white lady who's never been in trouble. I got this job from my dad. Your Honor, look at me. Would I be, I mean, why would, and the judge would go, yeah, you're right. Right. But that kind of thing also is the kind of judge that goes, you know, you're black or you're from the ghetto or Spanish from this, and I can judge you and be emotional. It's supposed to be dispassionate. It's never dispassionate. Now, I think we have a mean criminal justice system. I think it's designed by racists and bigots to get at whoever they hate. Racists, bigots, and bullies. Right? It's not the justice system isn't always racist, but it's always a bully. Right? It's always sexist. The rich never pay, and the poor pay too much. that's that's the American, not justice system, legal system. So I think I, a little more. I mean, look, listen. She shouldn't go to jail for 15, 20 years for this. I mean, someone lost their lives. That's tragic. Someone should pay a price for that. Absolutely. I don't know if she should get 30 years like she meant to do it. All right. Drunk drivers get 10 and below, unless they kill a bunch of people. Um, so maybe this is like a drunk driving thing where the maximum amount of time you should be. I wouldn't even say 10 years for this. For someone who's never been in trouble, who won't ever be in trouble again. And a decade is a long time. And mind you, yeah, I think people are used to people going to jail for life just because you've been hearing it forever. And you never think about if that's the fucking right thing. You know, tough on crime and then run for office. I mean, you have a whole system geared to criminality for profit kind of thing. I think you could chop a lot of 80% of the shit you could chop a lot of that jail time down a lot, and then give real jail time to people who keep committing these same offenses. I totally get that, right? Give real jail time to people who murder somebody, rape somebody. I totally get that. Set somebody's house on fire, right? Or set an apartment complex on fire with 50 people living there. Totally get those. But like car, I'm like carjacking and home invasion. With yeah, I totally get that. But some of this stuff is like it's just to fill up the jails. They're trying to imply that everyone in this country is like a borderline criminal. Can't wait to do something. We got to nip that shit in the bud, and that's not it. They generate this stuff. Excuse my language. I'm cursing, but yeah, I mean, America makes criminals, right? It keeps poverty and racism around, so then it can tell you that how it saved some of you from poverty and racism, and then the media doesn't go into where there is real poverty or real racism to talk to any of those people. Uh, yeah, remember, I was not a fan of Cuomo for a long time, and I really started criticizing him after Sandy, right? With the red housing projects, they were just ignored, and he did the same thing he always does. Uh, and now he's gone, and now his brother's gone. But it's not like nobody knew that there was nonsense and goofiness and ridiculousness going on here, right? People knew, but I don't have a newspaper, right? I don't have an outlet. And if you do, let's tip this down a little bit. If you do, can we do that? Yeah. That could be a little lower, but that's fine. And if you do the walkthrough of it, if you follow the money, so to speak, you'll see all these people who keep getting busted. Who they all? It's like a mafia, right? You got Sammy the Bull and you know all these other people, and when you pick him up, he's an associate of these people, and then you pick somebody else up, or he's an associate of those same people, right? He picked this guy up, oh, he's an associate of the gang across the street. There's other group of people, but you know who the gangsters are and the criminals are, and like I said yesterday, what? There's not a living soul in this country who's excuse me, who is of sound mind, right? Uh, I'm not even saying your body. You might be a head in a chair, But as long as you have a sound mind, you know what this country, what's wrong with this country, what needs to be fixed, and you know it's not getting fixed. Even as the same group of people come and ask you for votes and all this good stuff. Um, Man, I bought a lot of racing sims. We're gonna get into racing. Yeah, here's my problem. I was telling my homie this. Like doing this for like some of these races are like 30 minutes. So doing this for 30 minutes, your arms are then you're trying to keep the you know. I guess you could do it on the table, but this is why there are racing rigs. So you get like so I hate to say it. I'm gonna give it a the old college try. I'm gonna buy a used racing rig. Hopefully, it won't cost me the $500 that I've seen brand new. Um, so yeah, we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna restart off the Sunday session. Are we gonna start it off this Sunday? We missed two Sunday sessions, guys. Excuse me, man, still sick. So we missed two Sunday sessions. Your soul is in jeopardy. Remember, a Sunday session was good for 2 weeks. So I have to have a Sunday session this week to make sure everybody's soul is good. Uh, Season 6. Yeah, man. I mean, I've been thinking. Look, I can't say that I've been counterculture, but I've always been the kind of person who goes, "Why though? But why? Why? Santa Claus only gives coal, like will give coal to bad boys and girls. Coal? Why? And not nothing else but coal? Why coal? How big is it? What? You ask too many questions, right? A lot of people have kids like that, and they shut them down or stick them in, like in the house and give them a Xbox or a TV set. Shame on you. I mean, a kid who asks that many questions is just naturally super curious, and you should get him into or her into as much goofy and interesting shit as you can. And trust me, 20 years will go by like this, and before you know it, somebody will be interviewing you about like, wow, so he was always like this, and he's on his 15th invention, and he's 12 or whatever, right? This is his third nomination for a Peace Prize or whatever. You never know. But I think everybody's sort of the same person now and angry about it because everybody was pruned back like a bonsai tree instead of being allowed to grow and flourish. So like I said, they only get you ready to work in the mines. Our education system is a fucking joke. It really is. It really is. Um, and they like it that way. Because the only thing you're going to know how to do is read, write, do basic arithmetic, and drive a bus or a truck or deliver food for somebody. Maybe he convinced himself he didn't pull the trigger. What's the M for? M. Hey Stevie Wonder. I'm sorry, I just see you. Let's check the. I check my chat like I won't say rarely, but I don't check it as often as I should. But I check it like every 5 minutes. Um, yeah, no, he shot her. He knows he shot her. I think this is a case of because some people. This is what I mean by an unfair justice. Somebody can go, ooh, I can make a lot. Even if I don't get a conviction, my name will be in every paper in the country, and then in 5 years I can run for, because I have, excuse me, because I have name recognition, right? And I can run for governor. And as a tough on crime, this or tough on, I don't know, to whatever. But first I got to get everybody to know my name. So now everybody knows who Judge Ito is, right? Everybody know who uh, Johnny Cochran is, right? Because famous cases put you in the spotlight. And all of a sudden, I mean, lawyers make a lot of money anyway, but all of a sudden you go from, you know, not making, but representing me, I'm not about to say making me free, representing me for the couple of $100 I can fucking scrounge together, or a couple of $1,000 I can scrounge together, to representing like me and 1,000 other me's, like 50 other me's, versus just three clients who pay you $200,000, $300,000 on retainer, right? So all of a sudden you're a big name, and this is, I mean, there's a lot of money uh, in crime, not just for the bad guys, but for the lawyers and the cops too. Um, it's why nothing gets fixed. Um, it's not. It's one reason why nothing gets fixed and nothing gets looked into. So yeah, I think he could easily be like indicted, right? Brought up on charges to lead to an indictment, right? And they have to go to a trial and have a trial go, man, that's Alec Baldwin. No, right? And then go home. But it's still, right? They could indict him as a shooter, seriously, even though, you, what is it? Throw the book at him? A thousand charges, right? Versus the few charges that the cops get, right? We're only going to charge him with jaywalking. We're not going to convict the policeman of jaywalking. What's wrong with you? Well, the times are changing now. You can't really say that much anymore. But 10 years ago, yeah, absolutely, you could say that. Super just incompetent police work, and nobody went to jail for it. And super sinister police work that nobody went to jail for either. Wasn't even investigated. So now, back to Alec Baldwin and the legal system. Uh, what something tells me what's going to happen is they're going to charge her with one, like probably three counts, but one heavy count, two like sort of bad misdemeanors, and let it go, and they won't charge him with anything, unless they look into this and go like, oh, she was super stupid and super ridiculous. Somebody was bound to die from what she was. Oh no, right? Um, yeah, yeah. And I'm not a lawyer, but I think there's a statute of limitations on everything, and I think it's 7 years. Everything but rape, murder, and arson, right? Um, 7 years. And I think money crimes. So you rob a bank, nobody knows you did it, and you get away with the money, nobody ever knows what happened to the money. And in 15 years, you go, I robbed that bank. I think that's still righteous. They can't charge you with it. But I think what will likely happen, because the IRS is the IRS, well, they'll just hit you with tax evasion. Well, you should have paid money on it, right? And that's how they get you. It's never, if I can't get you for what you did, I get you for things around the thing you did, right? It's creative not sentencing, creative charging, and that's the problem. You get racists in there, and everybody's going to jail. Every brown person is going to jail, right? You get a sexist in there, you know, women shouldn't vote. They can't do. Oh, what, you killed her husband? That poor woman. Actually, that's not true. I think women get convicted of killing their husband primarily because it sends a chill up the spine of the men who are charging them, right? You don't want to let every woman off killing her husband because you'll be next, right? But a lot of this other stuff, unless you're from the hard ghetto, you know, and this, I'm not pulling this out of my hat here. You can look up the stats of who gets convicted for what, and how often, and in what states. You know what I mean? Uh, I actually want something cold. All right, let's close this. So yeah, Dominic D. It's kind of strange he said that. Hold on. Ugh, that is cold. Mm. All right, Dominic who? Who's Dominic D? It's kind of strange he said that. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is kind of strange. But I think when you're reaching for kind of like excuses for what happened, you reach into some stuff that just sounds ridiculous, and then it comes back to haunt you. That might be one of them. Uh, well, people talk out of fear and but this is a long time after this. Uh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't. I think he's just done in Hollywood. He'll just have to go and you know start from scratch. But he's one of these guys who sounded like a crappy, um, like a mean reputation. If he doesn't like you, he's kind of like mean and just kind of like he's like the Comos, right? But if he likes you, everybody likes him. He's kind of like this kind of guy, apparently. But like I said, there are knives out for him in that town because, like I said, people are turning against him. Uh, People who work with him who didn't like him, well, it feels like that. He's always got the match game job. No, you know what? That guy's probably worth 100, $200 million if he's worth anything. He'll just buy a giant. Look, it's one thing to like be be driven from society back to your mobile home and no one will talk to you. It's another to be driven back to your 30-acre compound in like Arizona with maid service, right? So he's not acting anymore. All right, well, now I spend my time here. And when I'm not here, I'm in France or Rome or Greece or Italy or whatever. Hey, I got a new hobby. I paint, or I deep sea dive, or I build motorcycles, or I start small businesses because I have $100 million to fuck around with. From him, I don't see a book from him. I see a book from everybody around this. He doesn't need to write a book. He doesn't need the money, right? And it's not like OJ's If I Did It, right? He doesn't need to write a book. I don't see a book coming from Alec Baldwin. I see a book coming from other people. Uh, I see just I see him paying the insurance company paying um, the guy who handed the gun probably won't get sued, but that young woman, 26-year old, even if she doesn't go to jail, she's going to be paying millions of dollars to this woman's husband and 10-year-old son, and that's the way they'll make up for it. It'll get super lucrative for those two. Uh, yeah, man, it's just all around. It's just goofy. Uh, what is going on in the news? Huh? Excuse me. I think I'm gonna have to honk my honker one more time. Jungle Survivor Mission, Call of Duty Vanguard. So yeah, Forsaken Mandalorian. I may have to. Winsboro Cotton Mill Blues. He's 100% cheating. I'm sorry. I'm looking for news, but then all this weird stuff has popped up in my feed that I'm just kind of like, what? News. So, other than everybody's trying to pronounce how you pronounce the Omicron virus, apparently Dr. Fauci defends Southern Africa travel restrictions over Omicron variant. But it's fine to travel to Europe. This whole thing is still okay. This Oh, they did they have it? Wait, the shooter in Michigan parents just had a meeting about him with the school. So they just had it today, talking about why was my son suspended for killing three people, or was this like the Friday before? Michigan school suspect faces murder and terrorism charges. Why terrorism? Oh, and yeah, um, the teen who is being charged as an adult also faces one count of terrorism causing deaths. Even count sorry, 7 counts of assault with intent to murder and 12 counts of possession of a firearm in commission of a felony. The suspect was identified as Ethan Crumley, made his first court appearance on Wednesday, and pleaded not guilty. The judge denied bond after the prosecutor called video of the shooting horrific and said the suspect methodically and deliberately walked down the hallway aiming and firing aiming, walking down the hallway aiming the firearm at students and firing. Yeah, how old is this kid? 15. Okay. America's justice system is fucked up. You know what? I can't really just blame this kid for this. I can't. I really can't. Yeah, I know it would be simple and easy for me to just blame the kid, but I heard something about somebody killed in their mansion. What is this now? Music exec's wife killed. Yeah, I mean, you know, this goes deeper, and nobody wants to ask honest questions. And I can't sit here and go, there are other people to blame. But I'm going to sit here and go, there are other fucking people to blame other than this 15-year-old kid. The whole place is a shit show, and the people in charge don't know what they're doing. We're not even going to read the rest of that. Uh, music, sex, wife murdered. Jacqueline Avante, wife of music exec Clarence Avante, shot and killed in home robbery. Uh, huh. Who? How old is this woman? Who kills this woman? First of all, the husband looks to be about 90, and she looks to be about 80. Okay, maybe he's 75 and she's 70. No, I was right. Music executive Clarence Avant of AVANT. Clarence Avant is grieving but resting following this morning's shooting death of his wife of 54 years, Jackie Avant. According to the statement released by Danny J. Get out of here with that. Danny J. Bakewell Sr., chairman of the Los Angeles Sentinel. Hold on, wait a minute. This sentence is fucking disturbing. According to the statement released by Danny J. Bakewell Sr., chairman of the Los Angeles Sentinel's owner, chairman of the Los Angeles Sentinel, comma, right? There's not one, but there should be. Sentinel, comma, owner, comma, of Bakewell Media, I guess. It should be owner of Bakewell Media. And longtime friend of Avant family. Clarence Avant is resting with family today following the brutal murder of Jackie Avant during what police have described as an apparent home invasion robbery. Following the statement was released by the Sentinel News Service. We acknowledge such pain and death felt this morning. The senseless murder of our beloved friend and family member, Miss Jackie Avant. Her brutal murder is not only a loss to her and her entire family, but is a terrible loss to everyone who met her. Her warm and kind personality was evident to everyone who came into contact with her, and her loving smile was a blessing to us all. Tell you, only the best people ever get killed. Clarence Avant and her husband of 54 years, while safe, is currently grieving but resting with his family. Our prayers go out to Clarence, Nicole, and Alex as they try and navigate through what will be the most difficult time in their lives. I can't doubt that. I cannot express how overwhelmingly, good Lord, where's the story? I cannot express how overwhelmingly painful I am to the loss of such a beautiful person, Jackie. For her to be killed in such a senseless way is unfathomable. There are no two more kind and generous people than Clarence and Jackie, and for their home and their lives to be violated in such a violent manner is unconscionable. Kind people do kind shit to people. You just can't call. Okay, fine. Shut up, Sean. My thoughts and prayers go out to them and their children, as so does mine, as well as we all work through getting through this most difficult time. Danny J. Bakewell Sr., chairman of Bakewell Media. 8:55. Jacqueline Avant, the 81-year-old wife of veteran music executive Clarence Avant, was shot and killed in a home invasion robbery at the couple's Beverly Hills area home last night. According to reports confirmed by Deadline, Jacqueline Avant was killed when multiple shots were fired during an attempted robbery at the Avant home in Truesdale Estates near Beverly Hills. Jacqueline and Clarence Avant are the parents of Nicole Avant, who is married to Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos. Beverly Hills police confirmed a shooting death in the neighborhood, but have not yet confirmed the name of the victim. Police received a call about a shooting at 2:23 a.m. and arrived to find a victim with a gunshot wound. The suspect or suspects were no longer at the scene. Who called the cops? Beverly Hills Fire Department paramedics transported the victim to a local hospital, but the victim did not survive. 81-year-old from a yeah. Netflix confirmed that the victim was Jacqueline Avant. Police are expected to hold a press briefing on the shooting later today. Clarence Avant, who received the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Ahmet Ertegun Award in May. I don't know who the hell that is. Uh, Probably know all of his songs, though. Uh, in May was the subject of 2019 Netflix documentary titled The Black Godfather. The film, produced by Nicole Avant, chronicled Avant's huge influence on the recording industry includes his 1969 founding of Sussex Records and the signing of Bill Withers, a former airplane mechanic with dreams of becoming a singer-songwriter who went on to write such 1970s classics as Lean on Me and Ain't No Sunshine. Withers Vice President Kamala Harris, and former President Barack Obama spoke about Avant in a video presented at the Rock and Hall of Fame 2021. Just get some famous person who don't know you to talk about you. The Black Grandfather film recounts how Avant went up against Dick Clark after American Bandstand producers tried to launch a black music-oriented show to rival Soul Train. Avant managed to convince ABC not to back Clark's venture, allowing for the continued success of Soul Train, which, unlike Clark's project, was authentically black-owned and black-run. The Black Godfather included appearances from President Clinton and Obama, who praised Avant's political acumen and his role in getting them to the White House. Jacqueline and Clarence Avant have been married since 1967, and the two children, Nicole Avant, the film producer and former United States ambassador to the Bahamas, and Alexandra Dubois Avant, ambassador to the Bahamas. Jacqueline Avant previously served as president of the Neighbors of Watts. President of the Neighbors of Watts, the support group for South Central Community Child Care Center, and is on the board of directors for International Student Center at UCLA. Yeah. Who shoots an 81-year-old woman? Okay, I got some conspiracy theories. Who's ready for them? Um, okay, here's my conspiracy theory. Inside job. Somebody wanted money, was told to go there, right? Ends up killing somebody, right? Or inside job, somebody went there with the sense purpose of making it look like a home invasion robbery and shoot this lady. Or just a plain old robbery. Two old people living in that giant house, we can knock them over easy. But if that's the scenario, why shoot the 81-year-old lady? The only reason I can understand, but there's a lot of shit. I don't understand Sandy Hook either. Why are you gonna run amok at children? I said this before, and it sounds indelicate, and I hate to say it, ladies. I support you, but it sounds mean or callous or whatever. But I get why somebody would run into a place and go, "Everybody else leave. I'm gonna kill all the women because I hate women." I get why somebody would walk into a place and go, "I'm gonna kill all the black people because I hate black people." I get that kind of fucked upness. I like Sandy Hook is one of those things. I'm like, you killed 25-year-olds. So, I mean, no one hates a 5-year old. Nobody, right? Right. So, I mean, some stuff I just can't wrap my head around. I try to understand, even you may not like the idea of, but once you understand something, you're better suited to deal with it. Uh, just looked up Don Cornelius. He shot himself in the head. Yeah, he got old and unhealthy, and he didn't want to live any longer. It happens, especially with a lot of these World War II guys. I'm gonna take myself out. I'm gonna have this in my own hands. I respect that. I do. I'm not one for suicide, but at the same time, I'm like, man, it's your life. If you want to take you out of here, then it's up to you to do that. Uh, and I don't think I'm wrong because the military asked you to do that, right? So you can do it for your nation, but you can't do it for yourself. Having said that, having just said what I just said, I'm not for suicide. I mean, shame on you. Like you leave all these people behind who love you. I get it if you're old and you're 80 and you're going senile and you know. But and it's also like, man, who's gonna clean you up after you are gone? So if you do some dark, horrible thing like this to yourself, don't Kurt Cobain the room and have like your mom come and find you. What is this shit? It's just people are a complex thing, and I find people infinitely fascinating, but also find some of it just like straight fuckery, straight showy nonsense, and you go, yeah, that makes sense. That guy's a knucklehead. That makes sense. Um, killing yourself will definitely, but I hate to say it, but you think about if I was going to do this, how would I do this? Right? And I've had this conversation with people before, and I've thought about it. Not killing myself. I thought about killing myself as a concept of killing, but not actually killing myself. And so the idea is like, all right, if I take pills, that would be easy, and you would just fade off to nothing. But here's the way my mind works. But how would I know if I'm dead? Right? So I get guns because guns, you pull the trigger, there's a bang, you're not gonna linger with a gunshot. Uh, I get that. That's not for me. The pills are not for me. Uh, Hanging is not for me. Right? All these, 'cause, like you just think about, it, you go. But there are stats to this, right? Men usually use more violent means to do this deed, like guns, and women use more quieter means, like pills or slit their wrists in a bathtub, right? Um, but yeah, leave it to a guy. He'll jump in like learn the train tracks. He'll shoot himself. Just man energy is very different from woman energy. But having said that, please don't hurt yourself, people. Tomorrow is always a new day, and new journeys start with like the sunrise, right? Are you appearing anywhere tonight? What do you mean by that? Am I not on? I think I'm on. I'm broadcasting to my. Oh, should I check my Twitch? I'm broadcasting to my. Am I broadcasting to both channels? I'm broadcasting to both channels. Yes, I am broadcasting to both channels. Uh, like and subscribe. The heart's floating by. It really is a thing, man. It don't make any. It just really is crazy. Um. All right. Ooh, what is this? This is 13. Ugh. All right. Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, we can close this. I mean, yeah, this is. I mean, giant hearts just sailing by. It is a thing. Um, I got to tell you, man, I really do believe that they fucked this app up. They really. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but the restreamer I'm using had its issues, and I complained about it as I used it every day. What the hell is this? Get this out of here. And I used it every day, but now all of a sudden it's just problematic, and I'm trying to get my energy back up to stream every day. Ooh, wait a minute before I knock this over. I think I spent 6 months in beginner phase guitar. I think I'm about to spend another 6 months in the beginner phase two guitar. I think there's like three beginner phases, and then hopefully maybe I'll be able to hit intermediate. Mm. Oh, did you? Yeah, we had me and Ted had some issues with that stream yesterday. All right. This is actually like this is what I've been practicing. Let's raise the chair. Let's raise it a little higher. All right. This is what I've been practicing. This. Trying to hold a guitar on my lap without me gesturing or moving or having it slide all around. Because you think it's easy and it isn't. Um, I always have to. All right. Then like put your leg up and tap your foot. But I'm right-handed, and I like to tap my right-legged foot. I don't know. My right-legged foot. Working on these freaking chords. This is my A. Yeah, man, bar chords. All right. Oh, yeah, bar chords. Bar chords, small chords. That's those my age today. Well, hold on. This is my A. What did I just do? I did this, and I called this my A. This is not my A. This is my F. This is my A, right? And this would be my B. Ugh. Um, yeah. Ah, ah. Uh, Playing like I feel. But remember when we kicked this off back in June, I was supposed to have learned the song by the end of the year. That looks like a ship that may have sailed. It's not too late. I've attempted several several Cat Stevens songs. Pat, who's Pat? Cat Stevens songs, right? I attempted them, which is then I slipped into the watch and know some bar chords. Then I slipped into a bar chord kind of, and then yeah. So I'm gonna have to fucking figure out a song to actually play. To to Here's the thing, I'm not really rushing, right? Um, it's a lifelong process, right? I got into it late. I'm gonna, but in 2 years, guaranteed, I'm gonna be able to pick up some stuff and know some stuff and play some stuff. But now I feel just like I'm letting myself down by not being where I need to be sooner rather than later. Uh, the floating hearts across the screen is just too much, apps. It's too much. It's doing too much. So yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, so I guess we're definitely going to be streaming this weekend. I may have a giant bonanza weekend stream to celebrate. Um, I should tell you my new car news, right? So to continue the car saga, uh, get that out of there. To continue the car saga, I got a call yesterday, and I was like, "Look, lady, I don't want to take pictures of the car. I'm all sick and this is so ridiculous." She was like, "All right, I feel you." So then I got a call today from a different lady, uh, black lady, and she was like, "Okay, calling about your car," and I was like, "Yeah, no problem. This problem." She was like, "Here's the thing. I must have entertained 15 calls if I entertained one from Geico about this car, about the same issue." And they're like, "Oh, so the car's at the shop?" "No, I have the car back." Or, "Oh, well, it's just have to." No, and it's a no, it's not. It's the front. Oh, well, because they say every I have to. So I was like, "All right, look, lady, miss, I'm not." The lady called me yesterday. I told her what I'm telling you. I don't want to take a picture of this car. I don't want to be the middleman in this thing. I don't want to have. The last time appraiser came, they called him, I think, and he looked at the thing and did the thing, and they were like, so they called me back today. They're like, "All right, you want to go to the place where you went to before? No problem. If you want to." And I was like, "All right." I was like, there was a car. They were like, "All right, you're gonna need a car when you get there to come out." No problem. So supposedly next week Wednesday, I dropped my car off. They fix it. I'm assuming the last time they fixed it, it took a week. So I'm assuming I'm gonna have a third rent a car in about 6 weeks. so so yeah, I'm gonna get yeah, and I'm sort of interested to know what kind of car they're gonna give me. Um, it is what it is. So we'll see if this works out. I hope that they do it and they fix it and there's no problems. Um, it's gonna be the car I'm driving for a while. I was thinking about getting a new one, But this one's fucking almost paid off. Do I really want to? I mean, if I get it, I can put some things in. I could probably put a display thing in it aftermarket, but do a lot more camping with it. We're gonna start shooting stuff, like I said, next year, this year, next year. That's gonna be my run around shoot stuff car. I'm gonna get one of those metallic things to stick a logo on the side door, and we're gonna do this whole internet thing. We're gonna do it right, aren't we, William? If I go over to this other thing, I hope you're coming, Will. How about the music expert? Jesus Christ, am I? Am I? Oh, you mean? Am I? Oh, okay. I forgot. So you mean am I going to be on anyone else's program? No, I'm usually on Ted's program because me and Ted go back like receding hairlines, right? We go back like throwback jerseys, right? We go back like time machines, man. We go back like spines. We go back like booties. Well, booties go in the back. Uh, we go back like history. We go back like rewind goes back. So yeah, I did his show. I used to put other people on my show, and then they would say wild shit, and then I would get a strike on YouTube, and I was like, "What the friggin' hooey?" So, but me and Ted have an understanding. Ted's laid back and easy and lovable, uh, and he don't talk wild. I talk wild, right? But there are limits on my wild talk. I don't say wild anything, right? I won't be out here going, what would you even say? Like coronavirus is an alien, whatever, right? I don't say nonsense like that, but some people might. And then they're on my stream, and I got to be like, so one I got a hit for, and one we told a joke, like I just said, and they were like a strike, and I was like, man, you got to look at that. We weren't saying something. And then on the appeal they gave it to me, and I was like, all right. Uh, so yeah, and also, look, you're used to watching people on TV who are professional talkers, right? They are professional speakers. They can talk for 2 hours and not say a fucking thing. You don't know what they stand on any issue, right? I am a real talker. I talk to you from my heart and from the top of my head. But I also know, having been a policeman, what you say is fucking, well, it's either save you or hang you, right? Um, so I'm not out here going, man. I think first of all, it's my personal opinion, just my opinion, that Cardi B was a prostitute that robbed people. That's just my opinion based on what she said. But I'm not out here. I can have that opinion. I'm not out here telling you that XYZ is a whore, because then it's slander, right? Um, and millionaires can throw around $20 million lawsuits. Oh, I lost this one, but I won that one. You and I can't do that. And the millionaire who takes food out of my mouth is the millionaire who don't have long to live on this world. The idea of that is ridiculous to me. That you would put a poor person either further behind the eight ball, out of their house in the street to prove that. And then, America is just a broken place, and more people are getting angry at it. So instead of fixing it, which they should be really working on doing, they should be trying to fix it. Instead, what they're doing is selling you more chaos and mayhem. Um, with the idea that they can fix that for you, and they can't. All these school shootings is fucking ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. So Cardinal Dolan wants to speak to me about Sunday service. Well, he can come too. Like he can get in line like everybody else. Isn't that what Madonna told the Pope when he was like, "Oh, well, the Pope she wants to speak to her, wanted to speak to her." And she was like, "No." A lot. Look, man, I have a. I don't. That church, man. I've only heard bad shit about that church from its ex parishioners, and you have to take that serious. It's not like your enemy is saying that, right? These are the people who were in your church with you. So maybe you should fix your shit. Um, but here, like the black church is totally different. The black church, you can the black churches. I don't even know what to say about the black church. Um, I'm glad you think I'm a good broadcaster, man. Thank you. I try and keep it real. Uh, but yeah, I was telling my boy, he was like, you got a good broadcast, but maybe you shouldn't talk politics. You'll get more people if you. And I was like, what the hell else am I going to talk about other than politics? I only ever talk about politics. That's what politics, you and everybody else, right? When I'm not on broadcast, I'm talking politics. I talk what interests me. Um, and I don't talk about what celebrity is dating what celebrity because I don't follow celebrities. I know who they are because I'm alive in the world and they're on my TV, but I don't care who's dating them. And when I do, I just think that's sinister, right? Why are you in that person's marriage? That kind of thing. And that's the stuff that I would think that if you went to my church and I was like, oh, so and so was dating Bob, but now they got divorced, and 2 weeks later she's dating Jen. I'm like, oh man, didn't even give a chance to fix it. That's just sad, right? Uh, but my stupid opinion, just as valid as your stupid opinion and her stupid opinion. She might go, oh, go ahead, girl, or she might go, oh, well, that's a shame too, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not stressing about those people because I've got other things I'd rather worry about. School officials met with gunmen's parents the morning of the shooting for behavioral issues. Yeah, here's the thing, people with children. I told y'all a story about yesterday about my nephew. This is a different story. If you have a kid and you raise them to be, oh, you're just a special little man and no one's better than you, and then they grow up and they go to school and everybody's like, fuck you, you're an idiot. All of a sudden he's like, I hate the world. Everyone, you say I'm great, but everybody, they're like, no, but then you got to go back out there. You did not prepare that kid for the world. Maybe you should have prepared your children, right? Not everybody's going to treat them like a special flower. You can tell them, hey, you got to fight it out there, but here is your respite. Here is your home. Here is your love and your comfort and what place you can contemplate your next move. Here is your family, right? I had a shitty childhood. I didn't shoot anybody. I painted and drew. I went home around the people that I liked, and my mother knew I hated school because of some people and some teachers, right? And but that's growing up. That's not unique to me, right? It's not me and 12 other people in the country had this issue, or whatever the issue was, right? But you honestly address it. You don't go, well, they're just, and you'll meet and you'll grow into your. No, you tell me how to deal with this now. Don't tell me how it's going to be when I'm 19. I'm 7 now. I need to know how to fix this. Because by the time you're 17, if you're not in the flow, you're not going to likely get in the flow. You become fixed. It's like fused bones with like babies. They don't like babies are born without kneecaps. Yeah, did you hear this? And eventually the kneecaps grow in. Now don't try bending your baby's legs backwards, you idiots. Babies are babies. Um, but yeah, people are, and I think that's a lot of it. I think a lot of these people, they're not all mental cases. Some are mental, and parents can do nothing about it. Some are just broken because the parents broke them. You're not a delicate flower. And I'll tell you, you see some of this in your celebrities. When called to task, they're like squishy. Like Britney Spears is just, she's gonna end up being, look, the media is gonna support her until she gets a DUI, and then they're gonna be all over her, and then she's gonna snap like she did the last time, right? I mean, those Hollywood children don't do anything but one trick. They recite lines or sing a song on the mark you tell them to stand on. Everyone else handles their money, handles their travel. I bet a lot of these people couldn't get a grocery list together. And I'm not talking about the one who went there from their hometown and got famous. I'm talking about the people who were famous there, born there famous, or went there, their parents took them there and made them famous as children, right? And not all of them, but I'm saying a good percentage of them are not suited to being just everyday competent adults because you've got like an agent and a manager and a young personal lawyer, right? And a PR person. They're all telling you how great you are until nobody wants to hire you. Then they're all going, well, it's a business relationship, and you're gone. And meanwhile, you're like 12, right? So now all the people that you thought was, and this was never gonna, and now you have to somehow cope. You know, it's easy, alcohol and fucking cocaine. Doesn't that explain why they get a lot of that kind of shit going on in Hollywood? I'm actually surprised that there's not a lot more drunken, like, but they have limo drivers now because there used to be, right? People used to get DUIs. Uh, Now they just have limo drivers who take them out, which is some form of responsibility, I guess. Uh, 34-year-old boosted her salary by $194,000 after quitting job 6 times. The exact script I use. 8 extremely overrated travel destination and 10 more problems you haven't heard of but might want to check out. Huh. All the nonsensical nonsense. NFL's free agency. All right. Yeah. Why is. Ugh. All right. I don't even know what to make of some of these articles. Some of these articles are like just puff pieces for people who don't have anything going on, right? So there's an article in here about Michael J. Fox. Um, and I'm like, is he selling me a book? Is he in a new movie? Why are you telling me about Michael J. Fox? It's just to tell you about Michael J. Fox. Okay. The judge who struck down Mississippi's abortion ban speaks out. Ha 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 ha. Let's. You want to talk about abortion real quick? All right. I said this. Is this? We're gonna let this drink. Every now and then, it's good to let your battery go down to like 3 or 4. My battery's always charged. Um. So yeah, I'm gonna let this one slide down to about 10. Uh. And while we're doing that, we're gonna unplug this one too. Um. What was I gonna say? I was settling into going on a rant. Then I got off on my charged battery nonsense. Um, I forgot what it was. Anyway, people are ridiculous. Jeffrey Epstein brought her to meet Donald Trump when she was 14. Alec Baldwin on fatal movie set shooting. I didn't pull the trigger. Okay, here's two things about Ghislaine Maxwell. Not to about her. One thing about her and one thing about Baldwin. One, people are saying she took me to this guy to have sex when I was 14. Where are all these parents? For one, don't you have to be able to go? And we have proof that this young lady at 14 was with so and so in this location. Da da. I'm just hearing stories, and this bothers me. Yeah, it really bothers me. One woman yesterday said that they made her wear an outfit, and I was like, the FBI raided that property and took all the pictures. Tell me there are some pictures with you having sex with somebody, because if I mean, I think he was, but surely a sexual nut freak boy like Epstein had pictures, right? Otherwise, otherwise, how's he uh extorting people, right? He's supposed to be extortion, right? So he's taking pictures of only the extortionists, and he's not taking any fun, goofy pictures of him having sex with hot ladies or any of this. Surely there are pictures of Ghislaine Maxwell naked running around to give credence to this. I'm not even saying with her having sex with any of these people that they're talking about. But like if you have pictures like that, her naked, her smoking, her naked in a room full of people, then it gives credence to this. I'm not seeing any of this yet. So maybe the government has all of it. All of it was bad, and there was no images left to leave for court that didn't have Trump and Hillary Clinton and all these people in it. Um, you better. America is good at putting people in jail with no evidence, based on sex shit and racial shit, and people keep saying it's getting better, and I never see it. And this is one of these things. If you're sitting here saying she did this stuff, surely you have some fucking evidence that, like, the judge will go, oh well, we're not going to show the jury this, but well, we could show the jury this, but we're not going to show open court this, and then you can probably have well, shouldn't we be able to see, but that's not taking place either. It's just people telling you what happened to them. I'm sure it's true. 20 years ago, with no proof or evidence of any of it. Man, the legal system. Alec Baldwin. Let's read this Alec Baldwin story. Alec Baldwin appears in court, Manhattan Borough of New York City, New York, January 23rd, 2019. I think he's got a history of punching photographers, right? It got into it with his ex-wife, and giant lawsuits against each other, and accusations of violence, right? I mean, did someone write something mean? Delete it. I had seen Senator George Mitchell, but they also said Senator John Glenn. You're saying George Mitchell and John Glenn were had pictures with Epstein and Giselle Maxwell? That'd be interesting. Whew. So yeah, I mean, Alec Baldwin said he did not pull the trigger of the gun that killed the cinematographer on the movie set of Rust. While investigators in New Mexico zeroed in on how the live ammunition may have found its way to the set. Here's my thing. It looks like this whole thing is hindering on who bought the ammo to the set. That guy's in a lot of trouble. Why? Who bought it there? But here's the thing: they said there were boxes. Boxes have lot numbers. You can track that lot number back to where it was sold. Oh, John Glenn and Senator George Mitchell were on a plane. Okay, but that's not just because they were on a plane doesn't mean they were having sex with Epstein and kids. But mind you, he was a super rich guy, right? Apparently, so and these guys are always scoring for money. So I mean, there's a number of reasons why they could have just been on that plane, money grubbing, as all politicians, you know, are always in the act of doing. So that doesn't. I mean, George Mitchell, yeah. I just really they took all these pictures. What's on those pictures, man? Right? Are they already destroyed? And here's another thing: the government gets them, the CIA, the Army, the FBI gets them, and then somebody will take some of those and go, "Look, Senator, this is you and Epstein, and look, we're the FBI. We're going to destroy these for you. But hey, we want you to do X, Y, Z for us on this thing. We're just going to hold on to these for a little bit." And that's how government work. All right. Oh boy. Oh man. All right. So yeah, floating hearts all over the place. It really is ridiculous. All right. So you don't even have the right to. I mean, you can don't even have the option to turn it off. It's just really just they messed up this this restreamer. So let's start again. May have found its way to the set. Yeah, Baldwin, who was holding the gun he was told was safe when it went off, spoke in the first full interview about October 21 shooting. Well, the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger, the actor told ABC television journalist Stephanopoulos, according to the excerpt released on Wednesday of the interview, which is set to be broadcast on Thursday, tomorrow. I've never pointed a gun at anyone and pulled a trigger at them. Never, Baldwin added. Yeah, you do. You did a ton of gangster movies where you did exactly that. Ugh. Cinematographer Hyuna Hutchins was killed, and director Joe Souza was wounded in what Baldwin previously had called a tragic accident. It was a tragic accident on the set of a Western movie he was making in Santa Fe. Santa Fe Sheriff Department said on Wednesday he had no comment on Baldwin's statement. It was not known whether authorities are pursuing an accidental discharge scenario. Why would they be pursuing anything else? It can't be murder. Again, unless you can tell me, oh, he was secretly having an affair and she was pregnant and was going to go to his wife. Oh, that's different. But none of that's going on here. So why would he do it? Um, and that is a full show. Let's keep going. No criminal charges have been filed. Investigators have been focusing the efforts on the live bullets rather than the dummies got into the set. Yeah, court documents released on Wednesday showed they found rust documents and suspected live ammunition for a revolver like the one Baldwin was using during a search this week at the premise of an Albuquerque supplier of props and weapons from movie sets. So the documents. Hold it. Wait a minute. Court document released on Wednesday showed they found rust documents and suspected live ammunition for a revolver like the one Baldwin was using during a search this week at the premises of an Albuquerque supplier of props and weapons from the movie set. Okay, documents could be anything from a pay stub to the shooting script and who's and what you needed for that day's shooting, right? Um, that's documents. And suspected live ammunition. I'm guessing they found bullets for the revolver. So what? So a gun supplier had loose rounds at his house. Can you not have that? I mean, I don't know, right? It, if it's not illegal, then why are you telling me about it? If it is illegal, and you're saying he shouldn't have had it at his house, it's only for guns, and you know what I mean? I don't know. Kenny could not be reached for comments on Wednesday. Oh, the supply named as Seth Kenny earlier told police he believed that the live bullets found on the set may have been reloaded ammunition that he previously, quote unquote, reloaded ammunition, end quote, that he previously had acquired from a friend. Oh man, he's in it. According to the documents, reloaded ammunition is made up of recycled components, including bullets. Kenny could not be reached for comment. Baldwin was best known for playing egotistical TV network executive TV comedy series 30 Rock. He has kept a low profile since the accident. You're calling it an accident. You should just call it a shooting. Because you don't know if it's an accident yet. Um, 30 Rock kept a low profile since the accident at the Bonanza Creek Ranch near Santa Fe. Baldwin, who was a star and also a producer of the low budget Western, went through in detail what happened on the set that day. Stephanopoulos said on Wednesday he went through it. I don't know if he should have did that. I guess he was sitting there with his lawyer. Two criminals have filed civil lawsuits accusing Baldwin, the production, and two crew members have filed civil lawsuits accusing Baldwin, the producers, and others of the production of negligence and lax safety protocols. But how were you hurt doing this? This is okay. This is more of a. It looks like a money grab. The producers have said they are conducting their own internal investigation. How the fuck do all these people get a right to do their own internal investigations? Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be Baldwin, but it sounds like he's properly worried about it. The 30-year-old You ask them a simple question, you do not get a simple answer. Collins won't comment on Kavanaugh's question in the abortion case. Here's the thing: is abortion going away? I think this is what I want to say. Yeah, I think it is. And it was going away a long time ago when the Democrats made a deal with Chuck Schumer is who I'm talking about. Basically, made a deal. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi made a deal with Yertle. Why do I keep forgetting his name? Yertle the Turtle. What is his name? Uh, for judges, and they approved all these judges to for something you know that they wanted then. But the judges will be around for 50 years, and I said then, this is the stupidest group of people, and they put all these conservative judges on the bench, and now you wonder why nothing's working. Just put all these conservative judges on the bench to get a vote on some other nonsense. And they got the vote. Oh, woohoo. But what will be remembered rather, is all these conservative judges who are now overturning Roe v. Wade. Good job. My position is this, and this leads into my other argument. If I can talk to the ladies for a second. This gender war shit is a problem. Hello, Emmanuel. Good to see you, Emmanuel. Um, so yeah, abortion was going to go a long time ago. It really was. It really was. The die was cast when the Democrats made that deal with the Republicans, and I want to say that was about 6 years ago, maybe maybe longer. I don't think Trump was president. Obama was president. So uh, it had to be long. It had to be like 7 or 8 years ago, in like Obama's early second term. So yeah, pleased to meet you too. Um, So yeah, but I also said they keep this around to keep you coming to the polls and voting, right? So for 20 years they told you, oh, we gotta do this because Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade, that Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade, and now here it is, undone, and they can be like, oh, we took, but they're gonna raise money on undoing it, and it'll be 10 years of this or 20 years of this. Busy Mall, good to see you. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be the 70s and 80s all over again. Recessions and oh, nice. Recessions and all this other kind of like ridiculous stuff. Uh, and you'll fight wars that should have been settled once again. Meanwhile, the new wars that they won't have any answers for, they'll just keep telling you, we're gonna work it out for you. But is this climate change thing? It's you know, the new economy, which is weird. You know, driving for some of these people like DoorDash and Uber Eats and all this stuff. If you want to unionize and make that impossible, and it's not a job, mind you, it's not a job, right? You don't have dental or medical or pension plans or any of that, right? It's not a career, rather. It's a job. It's something that you do for half, and people will get trapped, and like guys who get trapped working in pizza places that aren't their family's pizza place. Why are you still working there 30 years later? What's a pension plan here like, right? Whereas the kids are going to own the place. It is what it is, baby. It is what it is. Ugh. So, all right, that is. Look, and the hearts float by just relentlessly. They just keep floating by. Ugh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It really is so bad. Um. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna fix our Twitch game, and we're gonna be on Twitch. My man, Biz. Good job, man. I wish I could like both of these statements. That's pretty good. Um, so what you doing, Biz? You want to come up for a second? Nice. uh, so yesterday, William, you said what's his name was suspended, and it looks like I have to resubscribe to all these people every day, and it looks like um what I missed was that he was suspended for life, not for life, indefinitely for life, indefinitely, right? So I thought they were going to bring him back, but that whole indefinitely thing, that doesn't necessarily mean forever, like he's fired, but it might mean he'll be back in like 2 weeks, 10 days, a month. If they can weather this fast enough and let it go away. Uh, but from what I understand, some of the things were kind of like fairly sinister, and they were against journalism. So maybe he won't come back. But I don't know, man. It's a thing. Da-da-da. Let's see what Biz is up to. Uh all right. So we're gonna see what Biz is up to. We're rolling in on 9 o'clock. Excuse me. Love, Death, and Robots. All right. I did. I did. Yeah, I'm still here. See, this is why I told you it took so long before. Can you hear me? There are two Ted Hicks streams here. Ted Hicks 2. They both have your image. Should I invite you both up? Ted Hicks 2. Who's the second Ted Hicks? All right. Well, I have you invited, and then oh, here you are. Busy.
Busy. We're here.
How you
How you
doing?
doing? How you doing?
Good, good.
Good.
So I
So
can
I
hear
can hear
myself a
myself a
little
little
in your
in your
feed.
feed.
So we
So we
just
just
ran through
ran
some
through some
stuff.
stuff.
What you got
What you
for
got
us?
for us? Hang on. Let me turn it down. Emmanuel is asking a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the I
I
normally
normally
do
do
current
current
events,
events,
news,
news,
sports, and
sports,
stuff
and
like
stuff
this.
like this.
Uh,
Uh,
um,
um,
not no,
not
so
so
not
not news,
sports.
sports.
Generally,
Generally,
news and
news
current
and current
affairs,
affairs,
things like
things like
this,
this,
and
and
that's it.
that's it.
We don't,
We don't,
you know,
you know,
we
we
mulch it
mulch
all.
it
We
all.
don't
We
really
don't
have
really have
one
one.
thing going. Yes,
Yes. Uh,
I think I'm echoing on Ted's broadcast uh, because he's listening to me on speakers and recording on a webcam. So uh, you'll get some of that. Sad but true. I did hear
did hear
the Nets
the
beat
Nets beat
the Knicks.
the Knicks.
Yeah, the Nets beat the Knicks, right?
Yep. Do you
That's
still hear the echo?
do it. Can I still hear it?
Yeah.
Almost
Almost
not.
not.
It's
Okay.
I can hear
I
it
can hear it
slightly, but it's
slightly, but
good.
it's good.
Were we talking about conservative judges? No, we're talking about judges. It's not the conservative one. It's all of the judges. They have this kind of arrogant chip on their shoulders sometimes, right? And we talked about earlier in the show, they give out these harsh sentences. Look, you don't have to look any further than the recent exoneration of all these people, right? The guy who, the lady who wrote The Lovely Bones and Savage, she wrote a memoir about her rape. Turns out she wrote a book about it. Turns out the guy didn't do it, right? And she issued an apology to him because his life was impacted by this. And meanwhile, the real rapist is out there. So then, when you find out about it, no judge goes, and which is in their power. I want to look in. I, demand you look into this case, right? So you can put innocent people in jail, and 30 years later, let them out. People keep it moving like it's no problem. They exonerate the three people who killed Malcolm X, like a black hero, and how dare you not reopen that case? But they know people should be losing their minds over that, and they're not.
People are numb.
Yeah, I think they're so used to it just being bullshit that you're just like it's bullshit. So I might as well just keep it moving. I gotta keep these lights on and feed these kids. Like what I said, no one goes to marches anymore. There are like 50 people there. When I was a kid, there was hundreds, not hundreds of thousands, but like 20, 30,000 showing up for this stuff. And you do it every week, no one shows up. And that's what happened. People just kind of like, man, the civil rights people or just want me to vote for them and I'm out. And that's where we are. You need people to have faith in something and for to get them to come out. And now it's bleeding into politics, right? You want more people to show up and vote for you, but what are you offering me, Joe Biden? Right?
So, what were you talking about on the previous hour and 22? Because I
we
chimed in late.
well, we talked. Well, I don't know if we can recount the whole thing, but we talked about everything. We talked about judges. We talked about the Alec Baldwin case. Let's see if I can give you a quick rundown. Um, Talked about my code. We talked about my car. We talked about Alec Baldwin not pulling the trigger, right? We talked about religion, a little bit about religion. What else? We talked about the Michigan shooter, the 15-year-old. They're going to charge him as an adult for 3 counts of murder and all this other stuff. Um, yeah, I think that was about it. And I went on for about 15 minutes on each of those, so that covered about the hour and 15 minutes. Oh yeah, Rittenhouse is another one, right? The judge had his fingers so heavy on that scale, he might as well have had Rittenhouse sitting in his lap,
Mm.
right? He might as well have been his nephew. I mean, at the very minimum, he should have been found guilty of gun crimes. I mean, he did carry an illegal weapon across state lines. He actually did that. How's he
Yeah,
found
but
not
he
guilty of
didn't
that?
didn't the judge throw that one out?
Yeah, the judge put his finger on the scale. He should have been
Yeah.
found guilty of it, right?
Mm. Okay.
So it is what it is. But just have faith and we're going to fix it. So come back out and vote for us again. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to be on Twitch playing video games and telling everybody else that they should look at you with a shifty eye when you come calling for something until you deliver. And like I said, we still need it. It doesn't have to be you who delivers it, right? So I'm not being loyal to you is a bad idea. And at this point, being loyal to any party is a ridiculous idea as well. But maybe what I
I
need
agree
is
with
a
you on
better
that one.
person in your seat who can get what I want done through Congress. Maybe it's not you. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Loyalty? Nah.
No, we were loyal enough. At this point, loyalty is detrimental to us.
Let's see.
Ugh.
Sound
I will say
effects.
this: over the past week, I've drank so much tea. I'm sick of tea. I cannot wait for this cold to be gone, just so I can get away from tea. So what you doing, Biz? Other than reading your OnlyFans comments?
Nah, dude, I'm messing around with the volume.
Right. Yeah, 50 years, Joe Biden, and he's incompetent. It's their club. It's a golf course, right? Not a golf course, a social club, a country club. Country club?
Country Club.
Country, right. Country where they don't let any, right. Country club for them, right? But they need you to put them there to stay there. Yeah.
True.
We should swap our congressmen out after they did 6 terms. We should swap our
Six
senators out after
terms.
they've done one.
6 terms.
Not 2 terms. I'm sorry, two
Oh,
terms, which
okay,
is six
okay.
years about, and our congressman after they done one, which is 7 years, and that's it. I mean, people just sit there, useless. So
Not much.
yeah, no, it's
2 terms. I agree.
yeah,
Congress, 2 terms.
right. Senate 1 term.
Senate, 1 term. In and out.
Yeah, and then if you think you got it, run for a higher office. But it should be a, oh wow, he did a good job. Maybe we want there should be an apparatus where the people can go. We want you to run again. We're demanding to hold you over because you're such a good congressman slash senator. That's not what you get. You get people who just take money from corporations and tell you how they care about your little dog and your little street. And then as soon as they get there, they move away to a giant house. And how dare you criticize them because then you're a hater or a whatever or a crazy right winger. And it just goes on and on, right? It's just the way they demonize everybody who's not for them. And this is why we're perpetually at odds with each other because the whole apparatus is set uh, that I'm right and you're wrong, and this is a blood war amongst Americans. We will definitely see. I mean, we've got issues. Nobody's joining the military, and the people who are joining the military are joining it because well, I got nothing else to do. I'll join the military. Versus, man, I want to be a general or whatever. And some of those people will work out, but a lot of them are just kind of like AOC will be in Congress. Yeah, she's on her 2nd term. Yeah, here's the thing about AOC. He says now AOC will be in Congress for years.
Yeah,
Um,
she's young.
yeah,
She's
yeah, but
young.
the way it works is like she was absolute. She did a great thing here. She was a regular girl from the neighborhood who unseated a 30-year congressman,
Yep.
right? No small task.
A
But in order
do
for her to stay in
nothing
Congress, she
30
has to
year
play the game. So
congressman.
now she will morph into one of those people, and that's the problem. That really is the problem. Um, she can't be the sole outlier, or she'll be ineffective, and they'll get rid of her. So she has to become the thing she hates to stay there, right? I wish her luck, but she needs more fighters, and all the people who are fighting are just some people fight on TV to make it look big. It's sort of like remember we in high school people want to fight and they got 6 people holding them back and he's just trying to get at them and you know that he don't want to fight. It's that. So it's the whole show of holding people back, and it's like wrestling. It's like Nancy Pelosi off the top rope. You know it's all fake and insincere. There's an echo on me. Yeah, there's an echo on me because uh, I'm coming through Ted's speakers and we don't have headphones on. So this happens occasionally, guys. And we
Wait.
don't have enough equipment to run it through like washers and all this other stuff.
No, no, no. This is all me. Let me.
Yeah,
I'm,
it's
I'm
on
just
you.
trying to level out the audio.
But your audio is getting lower and lower. So don't. And you're supposed to be talking to me. Now I'm doing the talking and you're fiddling. So what are you doing? Engage in the conversation, Biz.
Listen,
There you
I'm
go.
trying to do. That's why I'm writing. Are you guys hearing an echo? Are there any Congress people that did their job for the people? Hmm.
I'm sure there are, right? I
That's
mean,
a good
they're not
question.
all useless, right? I'm sure there are, and they may. But here's the thing: what did they do, right? So you go back to your small town, and here I'm in Virginia, right? So let's say we needed. Uh, paved streets or a new light or a boat dock. I'll get money for that, but all the other stuff around and I'll take all these pictures and I'll be on everybody's TV show shaking hands, and my campaign will have me standing with the president saying he got you the boat ramp that you wanted, right? And there's a version of that in every state, whether it's my old state or my next state, right? Um, we brought money for Coney Island to fix the boardwalk, right? It's that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, they did something. But the real thing you wanted, the education reform, the healthcare reform, they don't do any of that. So that stuff had to be done as a collective. They don't do that. But they can go back to their district and do something small in their district and keep favor and keep being sent back to Congress. Or if they can't do something, they can, tell you that it's AOC's fault or it's so and so's fault.
So, I mean, for a large period of time, people were like, Bernie Sanders was for the people, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah, he still is, right? But at the end of the day, you still gotta get shit done. All right, so he's still he's popular for that, so they keep him. I mean, and it's good to be popular for that. If you had more congressmen who were popular for talking that kind of rhetoric, um, you'd get more shit done. Uh, he can say, "Well, I'm trying to get you all this stuff, but everyone else is standing against me," and he might be right, but it's also like, "Hey, I don't really have to do anything because I've got your favor, and I can just use them as an excuse that they're standing against me." The whole place is broken, um, and I think you're going to need yet another American revolution to fix it, right? And that can come in a couple of ways. Not all revolutions are with a bullet. uh, you could just somebody could actually come around and inspire everybody to vote all of these people out, right? I mean, someone came along and inspired somebody to vote in the first guy who had no political experience whatsoever, right? People are desperate,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see. Um, but I don't think the Kamala Harris and Bernie Sanders thing is going to work. Not Kamala Harris and Buttigieg thing is going to work. Bernie Sanders. Uh, I would vote for that ticket, Kamala Harris and Bernie Sanders. Because I know there's only going to be so much bullshit Bernie Sanders is going to take. Uh, so yeah,
But isn't Buttigieg looking to run on his own?
no. The way that this sounds to me is they don't think Biden's going to run again, and it's going to be Kamala Harris as the vice president running, and Buttigieg as her vice president. But they're both going to get their clocks clean. A Harris Buttigieg ticket. She needs to do something. At least Dick Cheney had a presence, right? You hated him or you really liked him, but at least had a presence. She's very much like, remember Dan Quayle? How Dan Quayle got punked? She's like Dan Quayle in a bra. That's exactly like the whole deal. I don't know, and they gave her. I mean, she doesn't help herself, but they weren't helping her either. Uh, but she was bogus when she got there. Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna be what people think it is. I don't think it's gonna be people with guns. I think everybody excuse me, of all stripes are just tired of these people. I really do think that's it. So what do you got, Biz? What's coming on going on in your show? What's next? The Constant Hearts, man. Did you hear me? You're mute. Can't hear you at all. Nope. Nope. What did you do, Biz? Outrageous. Ugh. So yeah, I've been home all week. I was like, ah, well, I'm home. I'm sick, and I'll just clean this apartment. When you called me, I was asleep earlier today, out like a rock. right, so Biz has got audio issues. He's got to MacGyver it. Let's check the chat. I'm sure there are can't I can't think of any congressman or woman that made any difference. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. Like, I'm pretty good with politics. I can't come up with any one outstanding congressperson who did anything. That everybody was like, that guy should be my senator or my president, right? Because if that person did, they would instantly be in the running for president. And we haven't had very many congressmen become president. A lot of senators and governors, right? Just like we haven't had many mayors. And Buttigieg went from mayor to the cabinet, and now he's going to run for vice president. Yeah, and he was the mayor of an all-white small town, and his biggest accomplishment was getting one bike lane in. We're hitting it. The people that and they're being picked. They're not anybody's choice, but like the rich establishment. So they're being picked, um, and they're not being picked by us. And I think that may cause a little agita. We will definitely see. Oh my! I guess Biz took off on us. He's out of the chat completely. Oh, that's. Come on, man. Come on, man. Uh, here we go. There we go. We, yeah, Bernie's a million years old too. Sound check, Biz. What you got for us? Sound check. You're on, Biz. We can see you. You're here. Can you see us? You can't. You can't hear us. You can. What did you do to your sound, man? Undo all the stuff you just did. Do I like Kamala Harris? I've got issues with Kamala Harris. I'll tell you what they are. Um, I think her whole flow is dishonest. And he's gone again. I think her whole flow is dishonest. Uh, I think she uses black issues as currency, right? So first she used uh, put a lot of black people in California in jail for like long periods of time for weed and all this other stuff. It's very, I mean, we all know this, right? And then, but before that, she managed to get into an all black, historic black college by claiming to be, well, not claiming to be, she's got some black lineage. But here's the thing, it's the one drop principle just in reverse. She's Indian. Yeah, she is. She grew up as in an Indian culture, right? Not around her father. So there's pictures of her in Surreys and going to India to see her grandma and all that stuff. But now when she needs to be black, here she is. No, I had gotten to this argument. My sister in law goes to went to all black historical black college, and they're in the same fraternity. And she's like, "Oh, don't don't say anything bad about uh, this." I'm sorry, I'm mixing up stories here. But that's the kind of sense I get. Don't say anything bad. But I had another conversation with another sister of mine about blackness, and it's what I had with Obama. Right, my whole thing is you need to grow up in the community and suffer the same slings and arrows as everybody else did. So and you have to have a lineage to it, right? Sharecropper, slavery, all this stuff. You just can't show up here from England just because you're black and just start talking about stuff like this. Um, we're not interchangeable. Just no one would expect the Europeans, the white who are here, whether they be Greek or Italian or German, to be interchangeable. Tell me about the Jewish struggle, Mister uh, Polish man. Tell me about it, right? Or tell me about this the French and the Germans, the British, the Spaniards, and the French kept getting into it, right? Three white groups. Tell me the history of Britain, Mister French guy, The Britain would be like, well, no, we can tell our own history. We don't. What? Why are you asking? And but yet here, you can just come and have anybody else say what you want them to say and put them on TV. And when I go, who is that guy? I have to prove my bona fides, which is just ridiculous. So I think this is why more of it is, yeah, yeah, and that's another great example. All the black British actors who come here, because I used to work in film, and people because they're easier. They're not connected to the pain and sorrows, and you can have them do shit that other people connected to slavery will be like, what, why do I have to do that? You know what I mean? Versus, oh, I just want to stay in the Hollywood Hills. So you're gonna, I mean, you get undercut by people who look like you. I saw this thing about Rihanna, right? And they were giving her an award, the global ambassador of the Bahamas or something. And they were like, I don't think she didn't get famous there like Bob Marley got famous in Jamaica, right? I get why he's a great and favorite son. She got famous in America because an American bought her here. And then she went back home with all the money, right? And bought a giant house to ball in. But I mean, I could go on about these people. They don't make any sense to me. Um, I'm glad you're agreeing with me, man. I'm super liking you already. Uh, but not to slam her. I'm glad she got rich and got out the. I mean, you know what poverty is, but let's let's call the thing the thing. And one more time, Ted is coming back. And I know this beginning. Uh-oh. All right, I can hear me, so I know you're good. How you doing?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good. What happened?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was Haps. It might be the Mac Mini.
The what?
I got a Mac Mini that I'm
Oh, okay.
running this off of.
Right.
So it could be that. What did I miss?
Nothing. We're just running through Kamala Harris and how I see the struggle in quotes, right? Um,
Who
I think it's
struggle?
being undercut. What? Well, what did you say? Who struggle?
Yeah, who struggle?
The struggle is the black struggle. It's called the struggle.
Right, but I'm
Right.
saying who struggle? Are you saying Kamala Harris's
Oh, no, no,
struggle?
no, no. Our struggle in general
Oh,
versus people who claim the struggle for political purposes. It's like I call it. It's the reverse one drop rule, where now you have one drop of black blood in you, and whether you know any black people or not, all of a sudden you can slide into all the good things about black people, like right, like rhythm and cool saying and hot sauce in your bag swag kind of shit. Um, because at the end of the day, man, people they ridicule us, but there's a fair amount of envy for like our small group, and we're a small group, and it's only unique to America. Like everybody call every black person black globally, but it's because it's a word that came out of America. It's about that word really is only about black people, descendants of slaves in America, right? Um, just like the term white was coined here, now you call everybody white out, just because we have such an influence. But if you're not careful, you will have people who don't know anything about you or your people telling your story for money, right? And that's what's going on here, and at least as I see it. Biz, if you keep going silent on us,
I wanted you to think I was frozen. All right,
no,
sorry.
all right.
No, it's just
Um,
when you said Kamala Harris, then you said the struggle. I was just like,
yeah, okay.
I was like, where are we going now? This is the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, she knows no black culture, right? And that's the thing, right? It's like the first black president. He grew up in Indonesia and Hawaii. How black is that? So I'm giving you the first African American president, and I'll give her the first Indian president. I think she totally deserves it. But I want the first black president to, win this thing, go in his inaugural with his suit and tie on and his black Air Force Ones. You feel me? um,
So I guess my question is it definite that Joe Biden is not going to run again.
I don't know if it's definite, but that dude, he gets weaker by the week, and he doesn't do a press conference any later than 1 in the afternoon. And I'm not lying about that. And you don't ever
Uh-huh.
see him anywhere near Air Force One because they don't want you to see him walking up those stairs.
Well, he fell before, right?
Huh?
He
I no no
fell
no.
before.
If he fell before, he'd be dead. he, no, no, he didn't fall. And it would be all over TV. He's more his walk looks like he's got to think about it. And he's just too old for the gig, man. He's too old for the gig. He
That's
tripped but did
true.
not fall.
Emmanuel,
Right.
he tripped up the stairs. He didn't fall down the stairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Slam TV, what do you mean? All talk, no action from the pro blacks.
Who is Slam TV?
Slam TV.
All talk, no action.
Slam TV, I'm blocking you. No, I'm just joking.
Um. So yeah, look, listen. You'd be a foolish person to be one guy taking on the apparatus. Like I said before, and I think I said it to you, Biz. The, the first thing you have to deal with is your own people. You got to get people on board to do the thing, and people are not on board to do the thing. And you have to have it out within your own ranks about what's important and what's for real. But until that happens, you don't have to sit here and be a fucking goo, do what everyone else does, because everyone else will sell you out for a nickel, and that is the problem. And the people who like to keep me on the bottom know this. So I can buy if I can buy everybody out, you know. There you go. Astronauts celebrate record-breaking chili harvest in space with taco night. Doesn't that sound like a Simpsons headline?
Well, they were doing stuff for Taco Tuesday or something like that.
It is Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday.
No,
Taco.
it's
I guess this
Wednesday,
was
but
yesterday.
I'm guessing
So
you read
no,
it for
well,
yesterday.
you know how they do experiments on the space station? They
Mm-hmm.
grew chilies, and then they harvested the chilies and made them in tacos. Okay. It's Taco Wednesday.
No, but I'm thinking what you were reading was from yesterday.
Yeah, I'm thinking that you might be right. Let me click on it. 1 p.m. Eastern, December 1st, 2021.
Okay, I'm wrong.
I think that's when they published the story, but I think the story was written about yesterday. We were eating Thanksgiving leftovers and stopped in sales on Black Friday.
Hey,
Astronauts, oh, while you
true.
were, I thought that's what they were doing. All right. Astronauts on the space station had a special taco night to celebrate their second successful chili harvest. So this happened Thanksgiving, I'm assuming.
Hey,
They
true.
grew chili in space. Okay.
Slam TV would like to come up.
No. Who slammed TV? All right. Uh, Slam TV. Um, there are rules. We're not talking about COVID, and we're not getting me kicked off YouTube. So yeah, man, all this stuff is just it's the way of the land, right? The thing is that they don't think people will have gotten hip to their game. It's just that people can't do anything about this political game because they exact the penalty and everybody goes to jail for whatever they say you did. And I go back to like we talked about for a brief time about uh, the fact that all three people who killed Malcolm X were exonerated, and
Right.
nobody then looked back and was like, "All right, who put these people in jail? Let's hear from you." This famous person who had millions of followers, you either set him up or you were incompetent. So now
Right.
talk, but now you're not even going to talk to them about it. You know, it's the legal system. I am out of medication. All right. What are you gonna do? No, no. The I think the Muslim They think Muslims from Mosque number two killed him on the orders of Elijah Muhammad because Elijah Muhammad was messing around with young women. And when I say young women, I mean young women. I don't mean 22 and 23-year-olds. I mean younger women than that. Right? Excuse me. So, yeah,
So you're out of.
who's Angelo Moscow?
He's a wrestler.
We're not showing wrestling, man. All right. So maybe this R. Kelly. All right, this thing's gonna go off the rails. We're not having an off the rails night. I'm a little too sick for it. We're absolutely not doing it. Absolutely not doing it. Excuse me. So I guess that's it. What do you got going on, Biz?
uh, Nothing really. I'm gonna just jump around to a couple of what's the name, and then I got to be in the city early tomorrow, so I can't be up late tonight. Famous
Remember
last
the days
words.
we'd be out all night and you would fall asleep on the stoop,
Yes.
and we would be out there till like 2 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, talking shit and drinking 40s. Back in our young man days, now people have to be up to go to work. When cats didn't want to be up to go to school.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to bounce around
Yeah. So
and
bounce around means you're gonna hit some perhaps streamers.
well, I'm gonna see what else is out here.
Right, I feel you.
I'm gonna
I'm
see
just
what
trying to
else
get
is
the
out here.
term that you guys use in the industry. We'll call it
Uh,
bounce around.
and then I'll just what's the name? I'll just Elijah and R. Kelly both love 13-year-olds. Oh God.
Yeah. I think there's this thing of the term power corrupts. It's that. It's like it's something you would never do, but once people will let you get away with shit, you begin pushing the bounds of how much shit you can get away with. Right? And it's always women and money with men, right? And I think it's always money with women too. But it's got to be another thing other than that. Maybe other women's men's. But it's always sex and money. You gotta watch it. So yeah, I think Chris Cuomo actually got fired. The more I think about it, the more I'm like,
Well,
but then I think
suspended
about,
indefinitely.
yeah, what does that mean though? Because here's my thing.
They don't know what to do with
Even
him
though it's a
right
different
now.
network, Brian Williams lied on TV, lost his anchor job, but's got his own TV show on MSNBC, and then stayed with the thing for like 10 years or whatever,
Okay, here's the main
12 years.
main piece right here. Decision makers. Discovery is acquiring CNN and a lot of those Time Warner properties.
Really?
So the CNN people have new bosses.
Really?
Yeah. So right now, the thing to watch is when they say indefinitely, they don't know what to do with someone. So you're suspended. You're not on the air.
All right.
We got new bosses coming in.
So it's like the Viacom thing when they merged and they sold that thing with Sumner Redstone's daughter took over, and
Right.
she got rid of Les Moonves.
Right.
She was like, "Up, sexual impropriety, and we're not even going to pay you your 60 million. Get the fuck out." Remember that?
Yep.
So that was all because we were able to hide it because our old bosses were good with it, but our new bosses are not.
Our new bosses.
Right? And he was the chairman of CBS forever, left unceremoniously without any cash.
Emmanuel, it's already sold. It's been sold like 2 times over. So the key
Ted
thing
Turner sold
here,
CNN in the '80s.
yeah, the big thing here is when you got new bosses,
Yeah.
um,
New boss, same as the old boss, but still new boss.
New a whole new set of CEOs and everything
Yeah,
else, and they're coming in and they're going to come in and they're going to chop away.
yeah,
And right now, he appears to be a liability.
yeah. I can absolutely see why.
I mean, just look how silly they looked during the entire Andrew Cuomo, you
Yeah,
know,
love fest on your air.
not
Everyone
just the
had a
love
problem
fest.
with
I'm
it.
talking about after with the New York AG. They didn't, a couple of times Chris Cuomo had to come on air and say, "Hey, I know the story is swirling around, but I'm not going to talk about it because
Right,
he's my brother."
right. Which means just and that in a way is censoring the story, right?
Right,
That's as bad as you making it a puff piece about your brother,
right.
right? Maybe you shouldn't talk about it, but someone at your network should be talking about it. But they're all friends. They all work in the room down the hall. You're not going to do a hard expose and then walk past his all. You know what I mean? It's all this. They're all too. It's all too incestuous. They're all too. And news is worse than house TV. They're all too incestuous and insidious. Uh,
Emmanuel, I don't blame you. I try not to watch that stuff anymore either.
yeah, I think you gotta watch it. I think you gotta know who's making moves and who's doing what, and you can't be surprised by them
Well,
because they
there's
get
ways to
worse.
find out on the web. You can find out. It's just
Right, 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 right.
droning constantly with those the
Talking
left
heads.
and the right and all this other
Right.
stuff. That stuff is just it'll rip you apart.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I agree. 100% agree. Uh, but at the same time, you got to keep your eye on them because they're
Hmm.
sketchy. They are all sketchy. They start unscrupulous wars that no one pays for. Well, we'll pay for it for the next 30 years.
Right.
They'll send your kids to jail for the and give their kids a skate on the same damn thing. Um, while demonizing your kids, right? So look, the Democratic Party, if you look at what's unfolded in the last 25 years, you had the Clintons revealed to essentially be brokering black people into prisons, right? While they build an industrial complex. The Clintons still had like all this black support too, right? You had all this sex stuff come out about people having to leave like their political positions because of sex. Uh, and never you can do anything with money in Congress, but never inappropriate with the money. But it's just it's and they all know each other. They all hang out together. Like this Epstein pictures with the president. Look, first of all, I've said this before. The Secret Service knows who the president hangs out with. If you're in the room with the president, they know all about you.
Hmm.
How is Epstein hanging out with Bill Clinton? How's Bill Clinton on his jet plane? Right? How's the service going, Mr. President? You need to know that this guy has a history of inappropriate connections and relations with children. And since we look at stuff that we don't give the government, like the people to arrest you, but we know he's doing X, Y, and Z, bribing so and so. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be anywhere near him. I mean, he's the president. You didn't know this? Of course you knew this. And but somebody had to overrule that. Yeah, Bill Clinton was the first black president. Yeah.
Hmm.
Who called him that? What's the writer? What's her Maya Angelou. You rolled your eyes at that. All these people have been proven to have bad judgment because now, I mean, Hillary Clinton said something a couple of days ago. She blamed the voters, right? This whole thing that they had handily under wraps is falling apart in their lifetime, right?
Well, it's just
And
these people. Once they get aired out, they become persona non grata.
yeah, but so many of them get aired out, and they're all in the same little cabal, right?
Hmm.
And that's what it is. Like I said earlier, man, it's like the mafia, right? It's like Tommy Two Toes got arrested or shot, and he's a known associate of, right? Oh, Hillary Clinton is a known associate of, uh, who's the producer who went to jail for messing around with the girls? Weinstein, right? He was supposed to be He's a giant donor to parties. He's hanging out with you. You knew him. Now he's in on a sex rap. Uh, and you've got tons of people like this that you knew. Your husband knows Epstein. He's dead on a sex rap, right? How many rapists do you know? Like Oprah Winfrey knew all these people who ended up being arrested. Charlie Rose, right, thrown off air, right?
Guy
You
on
just want to look back
Walker.
and go,
You talking about Chuck Norris Walker? Is he talking about the original Walker, Chuck Norris, or okay, no,
the guy. Who's the guy on Walker?
Weinstein was
Oh, right,
using a
right,
Walker, yes,
right. Yeah, exactly.
which was full of
Um,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw that. He was going to the court case trying to look feeble.
exactly. Still got 20 years though. Um, but you know what I mean? It's just every time the guy that kid who was on that '70s show,
Okay.
they're looking at him for like 4 rapes. So maybe you should look in that town, right? And then that town wants to stay in power. What do? You cozy up to the powerful. Hey, I know Hillary Clinton. I got this kind of thing. Maybe you can tell the president not to have an investigation going on about what happens in Hollywood or on my private yacht, or I took money from the Iranians or whoever that I'm not supposed to take it to. Maybe you could tell the Justice Part. And this is what it is. You watch my back, I watch your back. And then you think you grow up, thinking politics and all these. But at least in the old days, like I said, you used to die, and then 20 years later, someone would write a book about you, and this shit will come out. Now it's coming out in your lifetime, and now you're doing essentially doing damage control about it. Every time Hillary Clinton opens her mouth, a whole bunch of people go in the Democratic Party just go, "Will you shut the fuck up?" Right? And that wasn't the case like 15 years ago. And 15 years ago, that was only happening with the Republicans. So yeah, they've eaten away the goodwill because they don't ever. You're right, there, biz. They don't ever get it done for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you see this guy's problem. Oh, but this guy knew this guy, and this guy's problem. Hey, this guy knew this guy who knew this guy, and this guy has a problem. Oh, he knew these, and before you know it, you step back and you go, "What is going on in that town and with these people?" Right? Money is God, and so you know you you know all these people with this sordid history, uh, but they will all give you a ton of cash, and that is the way I see that. Yeah, so they can spend more money and then be dead because they're all gonna be dead. Well, not everybody in Congress. Most of the people in leadership in Congress are in their late 70s till through late 80s. They won't be here in 20 years to pay this shit off.
Mm-mm.
They're the ones who kicked off all these wars. They had no children fighting them. A handful of them had sons who were enlisted, and they got cushy jobs because their parents were a senator or this or that or the other, right? It really is. I mean, it's it's not unfathomable how we got to this point, right? It's corruption.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. And now there's a full civil war going in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, in
Man,
both parties.
it's time
Yeah,
for
a
new
lot of people
leadership.
are unhappy.
It's time for new leadership.
Yeah, agreed. And some people think Bill Gates is a pedo, right? Broke up his marriage. He's another friend of the Clintons that we can put on this list.
Emmanuel's last comment is so appropriate.
Our great grandchildren, grandchildren will not be able to pay off the debt. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, yeah.
It's just kick the can, kick the can, kick the can.
And it stays like this because the media is in bed with these people, right? These people. Um, the politicians are beholden to these people, uh, and that's the way I see it. They keep you entertained, so Hollywood has a connection. Keep making interesting, goofy fare, and keep them occupied, and we will do whatever. And those who don't want to be occupied by you, will keep occupied with stories of it's the other guy's fault, right? But eventually, you know, like I said, I think just because of technology, you know what they're doing now within like 2 weeks to like 2 years of when they did it. and we'll see. Remember, everybody, like and subscribe. I'm going to be on Twitch probably tomorrow, so please. Oh, here's my thing. Like and
Ah, there you
subscribe to my
go.
YouTube channel and my Twitch channel. You like that, Biz?
All
That
right,
right
good.
there. Look at that handwriting.
I
I had to
wish it
take out
was
a
all the same thing. I wish it was branded across the
yeah.
board.
Well, I had to take out a bank loan for this one. Maybe you know the next one I write, I'll get them the up to $2.38 to buy markers and a placard, a index card. For the next one, I'll get fancier because we're growing this thing. We have a budget of $3 a day.
All
Woo! You
right,
laugh now,
man.
Biz. In
Thanks so
50
much,
years,
man.
what's up,
I said thanks so much.
Doctor Shiva?
I'm a jumper, right?
Are you taking off? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
Well, we're
off.
about to end the stream anyway. So why don't you hang out for 5 minutes? Can you?
All right.
Uh, let's say some goodbyes. Please like and subscribe here and on my YouTube channel and at Biz's YouTube and Twitch channel as well. Um, I'm usually here every night at 7:30. Usually nightly.
Eastern time.
Eastern time, yeah, Virginia time. I've been sick, so like I took like 5 days off, but generally, like in the last 6 months, I think I maybe missed 10 days of streaming. And the last punch came with this cold. And plus, we have the ongoing car drama that you want to tune in for that. Maybe the car will actually get fixed. Will it or won't it? Tune in next week. All right, we want to thank Biz for coming through. As always, Ted, I love you.
Love you too,
Um,
man. Talk
I
to you
want to
soon.
thank you for subscribing, Emmanuel. I want to thank everyone who came through the chat. Thank you, William, as always. A black Jeep Cherokee. We only ride American in this house. My man Biz took off on us. Everyone, take care of yourself. Have a good rest of the night. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Something's happening tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow? Sorry, I can't even help you. Something's happening Thursday. Be a part of it. How wide open is that? You can't go wrong, money. You cannot go wrong. All right, I got love for y'all. I wish you well. As long as you wish other people well, because you're out there wishing dirty, I got no love for that, and I can't wish you well on that. We will see you in the next one. Thanks for subscribing, Emmanuel, and we'll see you in the next chat. We talk about all this: politics, social issues, judges, dating. We talk about whatever comes into our sites, and that's where we're at. And we will be doing a lot more gaming. Tomorrow was gaming. We're going to be doing a lot more gaming on Twitch just because this app is freaking ridiculous. The little hearts floating across the screen, I don't even know. I mean, if I'm telling you about a horrible story, why is there a heart floating across the screen? It just does. You can't cut it off. It doesn't make any sense. Yes, Twitch. One more time. Let's see if I can get you guys who like my Twitch channel, my Twitch and my YouTube channel. Help me out to grow the channel and become cool like the cool kids. All right, boys and girls, uh, watch yourself out there because seriously, that Omicron virus is the latest in a long string of fuckery, and there's no sign that maybe in a year we'll be like, man, remember the good old days of the Omicron virus? This thing is ridiculous. So, take care of yourself. Um, take a vitamin or two, but don't be paranoid about the world. Get out there, get at it. Your days are limited. You should use them all to their fullest effect. Try and make as many allies as you can and be wary of your enemies because they will be out there. And we will see you